Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the James Rule Crypto Show. It's James Rule XRP, and I tell you what, I'm excited. I have an amazing interview lined up for you here today. I have Dirk Schepens and Bob Way with XSPECTAR. I'm briefly going to show you their webpage. This is XSPECTAR.com. It's an amazing XSPECTARVERSE experience. There's a lot of things to see. Their mission is to empower their agents by offering the most advanced metaverse and blockchain ecosystem, breaking down physical barriers, and giving exclusive access to land ownership, business ventures, gaming, social events, and collaboration enabled by their seamless virtual economy. Welcome to the show. Here we go. Welcome back to the James Rule Crypto Show. My name is James Rule XRP, and I tell you what, I'm fired up today. I'm excited. You know, I've revamped my YouTube channel, and today I have the opportunity of interviewing the team at XSPECTAR. We have Dirk Schepens. We have Bob Way. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Hi, James. How are you?
I'm awesome, man. The weather's great in Texas. The humidity's down a little bit. The animals have been fed. And I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to interview you guys, talk about the XSPECTARVERSE, the XRP ledger, the things that y'all are doing behind the scenes. And Dirk, kick it off, man. Tell me what you've been up to.
Well, I've been up to onboarding Mr. Way as Chief Product Officer.
Congratulations, Bob.
Hey.
Well,
great to be here, James. Great to be with a fellow Texan here. So
hey,
it
baby.
is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Fellow Texan, baby.
That's it.
I told you so.
Nice.
Well, James, it's good to see you again. It's been a while, and I think if you ask me now, we did an interview very early in the XSPECTAR project, remember? And if you ask me now, what are you guys up to? Well, we're going to change the world. We're going to change the world and make money and offer the possibility to other people to make money. How are we going to do that? By empowering people, giving them the opportunity to create an identity, create value, offer a transaction, a platform. So the XSPECTARVERSE will be mainly social and business minded, an immersive experience, human interaction. It will be the 3D internet.
I'm so excited because it's going to give, you know, the sky's the limit when it comes to the XSPECTARVERSE, because if you have a business, if you have a rock band, if you have a school, if you have, you know, I've gone over the page, the white paper several times. There's so many opportunities for so many individuals out there to get their voices heard, to interact with other people live, you know, not like this Decentraland cheesy crap you see. This is going to be real interaction with real people, with real estate businesses, casinos. And I'm probably giving away all your secrets right now, but because I've read the white paper several times, and, you know, also interviewing you a couple times, Dirk, just to see how far you guys have expanded, as well as the update of the web page. The new page kicks ass, XSPECTAR.com. Check it out.
I'm still not happy, James, but it will be, it will improve. And the new white paper is on its way as well. And I don't pin any dates on it anymore because I've learned my lesson in the past. But I think that we are coming up with something cool, and that's mainly thanks to Bob. We pivoted a little bit. Firstly, we didn't intend to build our own metaverse. And then I think that most other competitors, or I don't even think we have competitors, by the way, but most other players that speak about metaverse are very crypto only focused. They are building on Unity. They have promises that are based on purely ideology. Their tech setup is really expensive and complicated. They speak about payments, but they don't really offer a platform to do it. So I think that Bob can absolutely elaborate on that. I think that we are focusing on the Web3 community thing, which is absolutely important, and that we will bring people together in 3D environments with an integrated payment platform with the dev kit where people can build stuff. And the best thing to compare it with is we're building a search engine. We are building Yahoo Alta Vista. I'm very careful to compare ourselves to Google, but it will be something very similar. It will be a 3D environment where you go to, the place to go to meet other people and to look up other creative people and businesses. Link2 or Uphold, for example. They could perfectly have a virtual branch in the XSPECTARVERSE where you can walk in and get educated or buy equity or whatever. So I'll give the word to Bob, because the tech side is really interesting as well, and it's being built as a fully distributed thing, which is very unique. I don't think anybody else is doing that.
Bob? And before Bob takes over, you know, Unreal Engine, you can create some realistic shit with Unreal, because I've seen video games, I've seen some of the newest creations that are, it's just so realistic. It's like you're there. And Bob, yeah, Bob, welcome. We're not going to get into Ripple because I know everybody that interviews you. Okay, what'd you do for Ripple? Oh, congratulations. Let's just go straight to XSPECTAR. We all know who you are, Bob. And I want to.
I did a lot of stuff. The only important thing about me being at Ripple is I know the XRP ledger back and forth and all of its features. And you know, XSPECTAR is built centered on the XRP ledger because it provides exactly the right features to create the XSPECTARVERSE, the metaverse here. But like Dirk said, a lot of people who are metaverse projects are trying to build a metaverse or a metaverse experience, or they're dropping buzzwords. But what we looked at here is to realize that we're not trying to create a website, right? We're trying to create a better web, which is actually a kind of astoundingly crazy task. But if you think of the World Wide Web, it's eternal, right? For most people, 1994 with you know, the early launch of Mosaic is sort of the beginning. But the web has just been changing since that time and growing. But the early behemoths, you know, the super popular sites that were on the internet very early on are all long dead, right? But the web itself keeps going. So the web is immortal. So when I see people doing game metaverses and other theme metaverses, to me, those are websites and they have a limited lifespan. But what we're trying to do is recreate the entire web in 3D, basically. So the idea that everybody who has a website today will have a 3D website, because humans are 3D animals, and that's sort of the way we consume the world. And if you look at the web in Bob ranting, there's always a Bob rant, right? If you look at what's driven the changes of the web over 30 years, most people can't put their finger on exactly what caused all of these changes. People are pretty upset in a lot of cases that we have these giant platforms, and everybody feels sort of beholden to giant platforms like YouTube. Hey YouTube, I think we're on
right now.
And Facebook and Google, and they're wondering, like, how do we get here? Well, really, there's one and only one reason. There's one flaw in the web, and there's one sort of odd consequence of the web that led to every change. The flaw is no money, right? So the web was for researchers showing their papers and looking for papers. They didn't even think about money. And the consequence is it was a single user experience, right? So by itself, the web, you're in the browser, you go places, you're all alone. Even if there's a million other people on the website, you never see them, you never run across. And if you realize now that every place that deals with money is a platform, you know, it's a platform to get people paid. It's a platform to monetize. It's a platform to track your browsing and try to figure out your interest and sell targeted advertising to other people so that you will buy more stuff. Now, all of that's putting you at a disadvantage. selling you targeted advertising, targeting you, you live in the country, about bows and arrows and stuff. And what's the last thing you want to be? Well, the target. You want to be the guy holding the bow with the arrows. You don't want to be the target. Yep. So we've built a web targeting people, and it's only to your disadvantage. So when we started looking at this metaverse, the idea is, how do we empower people? So if we look at how we fix the flaw in the web, first, money, two-directional symmetric money. Credit cards are asymmetric money, that people take money away from you with the credit cards, but they never give you money with credit cards, right? But with the XRP ledger, it's symmetric money. Anybody can pay you, which is very empowering if you create value like you're doing here today. So we fixed that flaw in the web. The consequence of the web architecture and the internet itself is this single user experience. But you notice there's another theme of changing in the web, where people started to want to communicate more. Then they want to participate more. You have a lot of fans maybe dropping you comments and things here on your channel. People want to do that. They really are searching for a multiplayer internet experience, a multi-user thing. You have 3D games there. And then the trends are just moving from the flat 2D world to the 3D environment world. There's hundreds of millions of daily gamers. So really, we just put all the obvious stuff together and thought, wow, if we did that and we focused on empowering people, what could we do? What could we do to make the web better? And how could we get people excited, not to like beg us to build in the metaverse, but just to build their own website, just like you used to do in the old days. So anyway, that's my ranting.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, and just the thought of having your business in this XSPECTARVERSE, or a casino, or a rock concert, or like Crypto Eddie's karaoke bar. So, plots of land. And I think you mentioned in one of the videos, is the size of your creation can be unlimited. Like, how many people can show up to your rock concert venue? Is it unlimited? Are you not limited to the amount of people that, what is it? The sky's the limit, or what? How does that work?
Well, we're all working towards scaling everything to limit, but what we've noticed is some really interesting things. I want the metaverse to be about humans interacting with one another. And I'm sure you've been to some big events in your life. Yeah. But normally you're still only interacting with a dozen or so people at any one time. Your dozen or so people is pushing your way through the crowd, and the crowd makes a nice backdrop, but you're there with a few people.
Right.
And so as you look at these experiences, if you go to a big concert, I want you to be hanging around with your people front row at the big concert. But so does everybody else. But they want to be hanging around their friends front row at the concert. So you can do a really interesting thing with the metaverse. You can render everybody else behind you, right? It's your computer that all the content is coming to you on. So why shouldn't your computer work for you, put you front row and center? So we're working on those, what does it mean to be a virtual environment, as opposed to, personally, I find what people are calling digital twins really boring. To copy the world exactly the way it exists with all its limitations, I think, why? I already got one of those. Make it better. And we think the way to make it better is better human interaction and collaboration and cooperation and control over the people around you. So anyway, that's my push. We're currently working with the team to make it compelling. If we can make people want to gather with their friends and make it a place where people want to make new friends, then I think we really have something that will be eternal. Because if it is the third generation of the internet, right? People in Web3 talk about Web 1 and Web 2 or whatever, but The only really important thing about those ideas is, compared to Web 1, how big was Web 2? Well, it was bigger. It wasn't a subset. It wasn't a platform. The Web 2 carried everybody who was on Web 1 with it. And the way we think of the metaverse is, if this is the next generation of the internet, it's designed to carry everybody with it into the next version of the internet. We're not building this niche platform experience. So anyway, that's what twisted our head around and went, oh my God, this could be actually something really amazing, but we have to design for it to be for everybody, not just for a niche group of people.
And to make it compelling, James, I think that, for example, using Unreal Engine 5 and the hyper-realistic graphics to not tech people like me, it's something that seems attractive. I know that gamers, for example, are not really into the high-def graphics. However, to be the Internet 3.0 and to appeal to everybody, I think it's a huge asset. And I think that's what Bob, and he pointed it out to me, it's about the people. Web3 is community to me. Web3 is getting people into your website in 3D within the XSPECTARVERSE and gathering your own community, so that you as a business don't need to convince them anymore to love you, but they will start convincing each other. It's about community. It's about the people, and that's the strength of Web3. So if we can get that into a 3D environment, I think that's the most compelling thing we've seen in a long time.
You know, I cannot wait to see it, because my mind all the time, I'm in these rabbit holes and I'm just thinking, you know, a search engine, but it's 3D and you can meet with your buds, you can hang out, you can go to a concert, you can do whatever you want. I mean, the sky's the limit, and you could visit other people's creations and just kind of walk in like you're walking into a mall, or you're walking into a retail outlet, or walking into a game room or a casino or a club or whatever. And it's just amazing, the thought of, you know, what I'm wondering is, say, okay, I bought a piece of land and I'm wanting to create something, but I don't have the technical skills to create, say, a building, or I don't have the, you know, all of that. Are y'all going to have like templates or things like that where you can build your own economy or your own buildings? How's that going to work?
Tell them about the creator contest, Dirk.
Well, at this stage, we organize a creator contest. We will do it in Q2 and Q3 this year in 2 rounds. We offer up to a prize pool in the first round, up to $25 worth, 25,000, sorry, US dollars worth of prizes in XSPECTAR tokens. And we collaborate with a company that is mainly based in the Middle East, Turkey and London, and they have a 3D academy. So they do tutorials, all to be found on our website, in our Discord as well. So we actually want to educate people as well. And I have to admit that, to my surprise, we have quite a few members of the community and external people that are really excited, and people seem to be very interested in learning as well. If you don't want to build yourself or are not interested in 3D modeling, well, we will offer companies and individuals a way to do stuff. Well, we can create stuff for you, custom builds as well, but we will offer some of the creator contest participant structures as well. They will become NFTs and you will be able to purchase them. So it's also it's an economy at itself. We attract new people that are into 3D modeling. There will be most definitely creators and gamers that are interested. We stimulate our own community to learn more, and it works. It seems to be getting a lot of traction, and it's interesting to gather all these people, because with the approach that we have since Bob joined the team, we are not building just another metaverse. We are definitely not building a game. If we succeed in doing this, it is the 3D internet. And how many people could we attract? Well, 8 billion people that use money, 5 billion people that use the internet. What Bob said, Web 2 had more people on it than Web 1, so Web 3 should be having more people than Web 2. So, well, yeah, Bob named the number, and it was 1 billion. It's a scary number, but I think it's not that crazy, you know. And next to that, Neil, our CTO, is of course building the platform that powers the metaverse, that powers the payments, the transactions. We integrated Stripe. We made sure that people, Web2 people, or people that are not really into crypto, can participate as well by creating an account, by giving them the ability to purchase in-game digital assets without a wallet, any crypto wallet. And there will be more. In the very near future, we will give the opportunity to people to purchase digital assets or NFTs in different cryptocurrencies. We have very good relationships with XDC, Flare, HBAR. Of course, we're looking onto ETH as well, because they have like 80% of the market share in NFTs. But it doesn't mean that we will move from the XRPL. I think that with Bob, we have somebody that knows the XRPL inside out, and that for the speed of transactions, the identity, the low costs of transactions, we are exactly where we need to be.
I mean, do you guys get any sleep ever?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, because
Dirk never sleeps.
You know, when you get incredible minds together, kind of like we're, you know, here right now, and just thinking of ideas or thinking, you know, the possibilities are endless when you're looking at this project and looking at bringing Web 2 to Web 3 to this XSPECTARVERSE. I mean, it could be so massive that, you know, and this, you know, you could say that you guys are the founding fathers of this new technology, and it just blows me away. I'm just so excited just to get the bits and the pieces for you. And I'm going to leave, you know, before we're through today. Look below you. You're going to have all the links. And now, if somebody's never heard of XSPECTARVERSE, what do they need to do to be an early participator? I know all of the NFTs have sold. I know you have an NFT marketplace. You have land sale. The land sales are still going on, correct?
Yeah, well, definitely go to xspectar.com. There's a section land sales where you can purchase land in XSPECTAR tokens with a huge discount, by the way, in XRP, of course, and with your credit card, with a collaboration that we do with Stripe. So you can purchase with fiat as well. And that's actually a way to onboard to XRP as well, because in the very near future, you will be able to NFT your land and sell it to get XRP. So it's an interesting concept for people in the US to purchase XRP indirectly. Tokens, of course, available on 11 different or 12 different exchanges.
Nice.
Well, we did our best in 12 months, 12 exchanges. We have not only USDT pairs, XRP pairs, ETH pairs, and BTC pairs on the exchange as well. So we want to make it as easy as possible for people to onboard. And then our NFTs on our own native marketplace, also on xspectar.com. There are a few good deals to do at this stage. So some people maybe over-invested a little bit, and you can snatch a good NFT for a good price.
I'm not getting rid of mine. I have one that's badass. It's like ranked number 145 in the whole 8,888. So I did good. I picked a good one.
Nice. Yeah, we really see, you know, to me, I let Dirk sell all the stuff. He's the man here, and I'm busy building this. But the whole thing, if I had to look, I keep looking at all your XRP logos and your army. What the XSPECTARVERSE, what drove me to it is, you know, I'm an XRP fan, and I was looking for a way to convince people they should use the XRPL more. And so what does that actually mean? It means payments. It means spending money, right? There were so many people holding XRP and waiting and not using it as a payment system. Well, fundamentally, it's a payment system. And so I thought the metaverse gives people a reason to use the XRPL for money. And beyond that, it gives you real objects to buy, which are real in the metaverse thing. So instead of being an abstract NFT, which is just a digital art or collectible thing, they're going to be real objects. It's a couch, it's an apartment, it's a chair, it's a ray gun, it's whatever you want will be digital objects that you can buy and later sell, and you will do that on the XRPL. So it creates a full circle transaction where I give you money on the XRPL and you give me a goods on the XRPL. All of those happen instantaneously, right? In the standard 4-second transaction. So there's no, I spent my money here and I'm waiting 3 weeks for delivery.
Nope, 3 to 4 seconds. That's it. And anytime I send an XRP transaction and it takes 10 seconds, I'm getting sweaty, man. I'm like, oh damn, it took 9 seconds and then take 4. I'm like,
yeah, it's funny, but that's what we want. And the enablement, it's. I don't think I have a really pitch on how we're enabling people yet, but it's really central in my head. And there's a really, it's hard to be straightforward, and for me not to sound condescending. But I live in a first world country where there's a lot of people with a lot of wealth compared to other parts in the world, but there's a lot of smart, creative, productive people in the rest of the world too. So with huge amounts of respect and thanks to our development team, we have a development team in Brazil, right? We have a development team in Serbia. We have a development team in the Middle East, and they're all working for us. And you look rationally, why are we using them instead of a team of all Texans here? Well, cost, right? Yeah. So for us, it is a little bit cheaper option to get really quality people doing really great work, a little bit less cost. But why are they working for us? Have you ever thought about that? They could be working for Brazilians or Serbians or somewhere else. Well, Dirk's rich. They want richer customers. So I mean, basically, it's a two-way trade. It's like we would like cheaper prices. They want richer customers, to keep their value up. Now, generalize that to everybody, just rank and file people all around the world. People like you're in East Texas, which is a lovely area here, and you have a lot of opportunities out there. But you chose to do your own opportunity to change your life out here. How many people are like you? I used to think, oh, it's a niche thing, a few people. I no longer think it's niche. I think there's millions and tens of millions, and will be hundreds of millions, and people trying to change their own life. Yep. And they will do that just like in the 90s when people are like, oh, I could create a blog. I could create my own website. I could do that. All I have to do is learn to fiddle with a few things. They came to the web to empower themselves. And we think people will come to the metaverse to empower themselves. And empowerment means receiving money, right? We shouldn't be shy about that. And that's what the XRP ledger is for. It's actually for receiving money, right? Because we have credit cards, they're for paying money. So anyway, that's my whole philosophy over what we're doing. That's why I think people will come.
Well, I think, James, something that is very important is what Bob said as well, that to make the XRPL and any other project building on the XRPL successful is that we need to convince initially to XRP holders to spend their XRP on stuff we're creating. Something that lots of people really underestimate, I guess. And then the other thing is that, well, we are here to empower people and to give everybody an equal chance to build on a platform, regardless where they come from or who they are, and to create value and get paid for the value creation. And the third thing is, James, that I really want you and your colleagues influencers, deep divers, diggers into what we're doing, invite you guys to be early adopters and to start doing your shows and your interviews and whatever inside what we are building. So happy to have you there. Crypto Airy will do a karaoke bar, so that's cool. But there's way more. It's education, it's businesses, brands, companies, individuals, institutions, educational stuff. There are so many possibilities. And well, I'm excited. I'm getting more and more excited. I'm getting less rich, by the way, Bob, but I'm getting excited.
You know, every time I hear you talking, I'm getting more and more excited just thinking about my channel, my content, you know, being on this big wall. You walk into this bar or whatever, and all of a sudden here's jamesrule XRP talking about his latest and greatest, you know, interview or video or whatever. And people were just standing around going, yeah, that's jamesrule XRP, baby. Check him out. I told you so, you know.
No, lots of metaverses also, like they was like mostly why did they get companies in there? Because it was mainly publicity, but it was not actually something to do. We took a deep dive in lots of metaverses. 90% are total crap. 5% are good ideas and promises, but never executed. And then maybe a couple of percent actually did something, and regardless their financial successes, from a human perspective, they aren't really good, you know. There is nobody there, and the ones who are there don't interact.
Yeah, it's not very compelling. But imagine you're on YouTube now, and I'm sure you look back at the history of YouTube, and there was a handful of people who bent YouTube into what they wanted it to be, starting their own channels, and became number one YouTubers for decades, just because they got there first. Well, somebody's going to be that person in the metaverse. They're going to get there first. And so imagine if you did a video you're doing, you know, you start out with a YouTube video showing somewhere in the metaverse in a gathering area, but then you finish up the video, your premiere, and you walk out into the metaverse and you're with the people talking,
interacting,
continuing the conversation.
Wow.
Yeah, like directly there. And, you know, I don't know, maybe you're there. Then the thing is, it's not about like the show. It's about what you do after the show. Like if you go see a concert, you go with your friends, you see a concert, but then after the concert's over, you're like, what do we do next? We're already together. Let's go somewhere else. And that's what the metaverse is. You can do a thing and then take your friends all together and go do the next thing, which the internet's not good for. You can't take all of your fans here on YouTube that just watched your video and you go, oh, well, we're going to go over here to Twitch and we're going to play some games. Or
that's exciting. The fundamental thought process of being able to do that just blows me away. And y'all are going to make that happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Because and so a lot of people, like you asked the question, what do we do if we're not real builders? That's okay. You're not a builder. Actually, you might be in the real world here, but you are a performer, entertainer. You are an attractor of other people. And you are actually the audience we want to bring in first. So even if you don't build your own building, but you're like, I do a show, it's in this theater here, you can come see it. Or we do this event in somebody else's space. We do it in the town square. You know, it's just a gathering of people. We'll talk about this while fun, and then we'll all play Frisbee after this.
Hey,
you know, it's like, it's like, what can you do? We're never sure what's going to be the next big thing.
I mean, there's going to be no limitations the way it sounds. I mean, it's just going to, so Dirk, how big has the team grown since I first interviewed you?
Well, initially we had quite a few people doing the Mao's team, or artist, and his whole team, which were about 30 people in total. So we shifted a lot. We're still somewhere with everybody included around 50. I know I said by then or back then that it was about the same size. We got rid of a few people. You know, we're playing the Champions League, not some kind of small soccer thing. So we shifted a lot, but now we're really getting onto cruise speed. Thanks to Bob as well. Neil has been building the platform. We will launch a standalone NFT marketplace, by the way, by the end of June. We'll be doing some interesting interviews in the next few weeks. As you know, I've always kept in good contact with our friend the Bearable Bull as well. So he's still a huge fan. He sent me a message that was really moving. He said, "I'm really, really proud on what you have done," and it draws eyes to the XRPL, to other projects, the community hall, the art gallery, which is like episode 1 of the metaverse, the first building that we created ourselves, can be downloaded on our website, xspectar.com as well. There's an installer, a launcher. You can create your own space, go to a private space in the very near future, go to Bob's town square to interact with other people. 67 NFT projects, not only on the XRPL, but also on ETH, HBAR, Flare have been participating, so they are displayed as well, free of charge, because we are convinced that it's all community, and we bring people together, we bring projects together, and we reinvest everything in what we are building to make it a better place for all of us.
That's great. And, you know, we're going to lose sleep by being in this XSPECTARVERSE. So not just you guys, once we start venturing in and looking for finding our friends and, oh, this is cool. No, we need to go to this building and see what's in there. It goes in. Oh, man. I mean, you know, my mind, my ticker's just ticking right now, just thinking of all the possibilities of, you know, what does jamesrule want to create? You know, that's the big question.
Yeah.
Now, what do you, Bob? I mean, what do you want to create, Bob? What's going to be your big? I mean, I know you're helping create the entire thing, but what's your niche? I mean, are you going to have like a boat ramp with, you know, you come hang out with your buds in the boat, or hop on Dirk's yacht, or, I mean, what are the possibilities, man? What do I want to create? You know, I used to DJ back in the late 80s, early 90s, real vinyl, you know, Depeche Mode, The Cure, all the good, you know, techno pop music back then. And that's been a passion of mine. It's all MP3 now, but, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's really, you know, you just really have to think about, what do you really want in life? What do you want to promote? What kind of income do you want to draw in? There's just so many possibilities out there.
Yeah, I personally, I don't know. It's super interesting. It's like, I want to be a tourist in my metaverse. Like, I really am fascinated by giving people the tools. Like I said, it's like the World Wide Web. That's the goal of this, so that you can build your own experience, but I can discover the experience by coming to the XSPECTARVERSE, and there's buildings, there's signage, there's things saying, you know, come to our you know, our experience. And so you know, if you're
like, here's Bob, check it out, here's the XSPECTARVERSE, welcome.
Yeah.
You know?
it's a bit, you know, it's a bit like a theme park for me, right, where you're in there, and you left from the real world and you went in this place. You know, if you've been to Disneyland, you show up on Main Street, which is kind of like the real world, but not exactly, because it's kind of like the real world from 1930 or whatever, there. Mainstream, but you still recognize it as the real world. But then you wander off into these different areas, these future verse, these, you know, wilderness areas, the Tomorrowland, you know, whatever, you go into different areas. And I want the metaverse to feel like that, because I don't want to hamper people's creativity. It's like we talk with Dirk, the metaverse itself is not a game, but it's an awesome environment for people to create games in, right? It's just the way, like, you've been to a football game in the real world, but you wouldn't call the real world a football game. It's you go to the football game, you enjoy the game, and afterwards you go hang out somewhere with your friends. And the metaverse should have that feeling. It should have all of those ideas, but +1, +2, +3, because we're not limited by where you are in the
I think that's a very important conclusion as well, James, that with and again, the fashion words, compelling, immersive, I think from a commercial perspective for everybody that's participating in it, having your business in there in 3D is very important because it's more than any transaction. Imagine Link2 bringing all of their accredited investors to the metaverse and being able to walk in their building and get information. How should I become this? What do I need this? Why? How about buying Ripple stock? And the most important thing is what happens before and after. It's in lots of human interactions like that. It's the for and the after play. And that's where the whole community aspect is important, because that intensifies everything.
Yeah. And you're not alone. You're with your best buds. You're with your neighbors. You're with your family, and y'all can take this journey and just do what you want, interact. I mean, it's just
imagine, James, a memorial ground or a graveyard where you can remember people, where you can put something to remember them, and where you can go to eternally and bring other people, family members, friends from all over the world to gather there together. And next to you will be somebody that has exactly the same feelings, because there's somebody else there that is there for the same reasons. And you can speak to each other about that, and you can grieve together, for example. It's a strange example, but I think it's one of the good ones. And it seems very simple, but it's all about human interaction. And again, the hyperrealism will enhance that effect. Our people in our metaverse will have legs. Huh?
Now, will the individual or individuals that have the NFTs that were created, will that be your character, or will you create your own emojis? How's this going to initially work?
Well, it's a tricky one. Lots of people ask me that, and we always have said, well, it's not the avatar. So the NFT won't be the avatar. You will be able to choose an avatar, to customize it, to change skins and whatever. However, the Genesis collection, the 888 people, they will have some kind of ID inside their avatar's back pocket, which is their identity card to show they're an OG agent, and they will get benefits. It's the golden ticket. They will get early access discounts, special rooms that they can access only, and whatever. We can't spill too much, but we will remember them. We know that they're our biggest and earliest supporters, and we will definitely do stuff for them.
You know, I could see just so many things happening. Like, say, for instance, a real estate agent. I know you've been in real estate, Dirk, and actually in this world where you can tour, you know, real live real estate on the market today, like in Italy or New York or California, and at the same time you could tour real estate in the XSPECTARVERSE that could be for sale. Say somebody builds this incredible museum or barn dominium. See, my dream is buying a barn dominium in Austin, Texas. It's a big open concept house, and having all my best buds and lady friends over. But anyway, you know, it's the best of both worlds, and they all interact together. It's just, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud right now of all the possibilities.
I think if you brought the barn dominium concept to the rest of the world, they would be shocked. But I think,
and they're thinking, a barn, does it have horses in it? I know you from Texas,
so
but
everybody,
no, it is unreal when you walk into a massive barn dominium open concept. And you maybe bring that to the XSPECTARVERSE. Maybe I want to build a big ass barn dominium on my plot, have all my best buds come over, and they're like, wow, this is it, man.
Yeah.
This is it.
So for Dirk's benefit, do you know this term barn dominium, Dirk?
No, not really. I have some ideas, and I think I will be very close to it.
I'll
But
send you a video clip.
I've been dealing a lot with Texans lately, and I have to admit that that people from the United States are very open to new ideas, new concepts, willing to invest, and that's probably why it's the most thriving economy in the world.
Mhm.
And I'm always happy to be there, and I hope that you guys will keep doing that. And I think Texas is the US to the second power.
We're the country of Texas. That's the way I see it.
Yeah. And so a barn dominium, if you were trying to imagine it, imagine some of those big commercial buildings that they make out of steel and metal over that, and you just buy them, they come in, they put it on your land, and then you build out the inside to be as fancy a house as you want. But some people actually leave the outside looking like a commercial building, so nobody comes by and bothers them. They try not to look rich, but then you see the inside, and it's a golden palace filled with all sorts of fun stuff.
It's blank.
Like the concept.
Yeah, balconies, open concept, stone fireplaces, just cedar wood, Texas woods, deep woods, whatever you want. I mean, the sky's the limit.
But yeah, there's a few near my house, and they're, it's kind of amazing. People look at that and they're like, yeah, it's nice. And from the outside, you don't look at it like somebody's mansion, like a Hollywood mansion or something. But to me, if you live in a Hollywood mansion, you just paint Target on you. And
yeah.
But when you see some of these nice big barn dominiums, you don't think, wow, I should go rob those people. They think that guy's just doing what he wants.
Well, there's a good chance, by the way, that in the next few months I will be visiting Texas. And James, I hope we will meet each other. We will probably, or Bob at least for sure, and I don't know yet, but we have made it to the final stage of the XRPL Foundation Accelerator round. Hopefully, the next phase is going to New York to visit the Ripple headquarters over there. And right after, at the end of August, there's a big XDC conference in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a good possibility that I will be somewhere very close to
you.
Good
possibility I might be there too, man. And Bob and Dirk.
That would be awesome.
That would be very awesome.
Get to Austin. I for Europeans, I always think they're like, yeah, I'm coming to Texas. We'll be close. I'm like
872 miles from this side to the other. How many states on the East Coast can collaborate to make up Texas,
But I think everybody can get to Austin, even from Beaumont.
Yep. Just a few hours, I'll be there. In Texas, everything's so big, you don't say miles, you say hours. Okay, I'm 4 hours away from Austin. I'm 5.5 hours away from Dallas. I'm, 12 hours away from El Paso. So that's the way we do mileage in Texas.
It's my favorite sign, Dirk, is when we drive in from, I think it's from Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We come in there into Texarkana, and there's a sign that says, "Welcome to Texas, El Paso, 900 miles," or something like that.
Dirk, you need to go to Buc-ee's. If you ever come to Texas, you need to go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
There needs to be a Buc-ee's in the XSPECTARVERSE as well. So
Bob already promised me that we can shoot some tanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll go shoot tanks.
So, yeah.
So guys, I know your time's valuable, and I know we're kind of limited on the space here. I'm gonna leave.
That's what
go ahead.
I wanted to say. I'm looking at your space here, and what I want you to be thinking about is how would you expand your presence and your show in the metaverse? And I'm sitting here thinking, what if at the end of your show, all your fans could come into your virtual studio here? Just because it's not real doesn't mean people can't show up, right?
That's awesome. Let's do it, man. Sign me up.
And hang in with everybody afterwards. That's what I want people thinking about right now. People are thinking about the metaverse like it's a game, and I want people thinking about the metaverse as if it's for them to actually produce something compelling and to attract people there to hang out and just have fun.
I'm really excited again, James, that you're back in full force. We all know what's going to happen very soon. So we have Jenna, we have Solomon as well. We have the Bearable Bull, we have Ari. Let's gather a few good, valuable content creators and bring them all to the XSPECTARVERSE.
Come on. I'm all in, baby. I'm riding solo now. So let's do this. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
The Ripple people that we had a meeting with, they had one question on their sheet, and it was like, why are you guys rock stars? And I will end our interview, James, with a term that Web3 and crypto people really like. Ladies, gentlemen, let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's go. And don't forget, thanks, guys. And don't forget, there it is. jamesrule, XRP. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Dirk. I love you guys. Let's get back together soon. I told you so.
Awesome.